documents are missing, you're not going to get the admission letter. So
Correct.
it's either it's black and white there.
Hmm.
But specifically, if your language results are poor, or if you can't prove that you would be able to do the instruction in English, at an adequate level, they put you in what you call a foundation program, right?
Right.
And so you would have to kind of do maybe an ESL course for a semester, and then if you succeed in completing that, you then go ahead and get the transition into the full program, right? But that's how it works in Canada. And so for there, the study permit that you get issued is just for that foundation program, right? So you're studying for 6 months, and then if you complete that course and then you move on to the full program, you have to apply to extend your study permit. So it works a little bit differently on that. And so I guess then what's the last stage in your process?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the last stage is the most important one. So after you have received your CAS for UK universities, which stands for Confirmation of Acceptance of Studies. So that's when you get your, this is the stage after you have received your unconditional offer, or as we say, LOA, letter of admission from Canada. Then you have to apply for the visa. And that brings me to my question for you, Mustafa, that I've been hearing some news about change in the policy for international students in Canada. And since it has been a very popular destination, students are concerned that what it actually means in the first place and how would it affect them. Is it, really that terrifying thing? Do they need to be worried about not getting admissions, not being able to fulfill their dream, or does it mean something else?
Yes and no. So look, to begin with, like, historically speaking, the acceptance rate for visas in Canada has been 60% anyway, right? So I think in the UK, it goes up to like 90-95% of an acceptance rate. And it's never been that high, right? It's been 60%. So getting a study permit approved in Canada has always been challenging, right? The requirements are much higher. And, if you would like me to go through those details later on, I could. But typically, the acceptance rates have been, compared to the UK, low, right? So 60% is historic. So now I believe that these policies will make the acceptance rate tick up. We will see less refusals, but the requirements to be accepted have sort of become more burdensome for students. So what are the changes that they've made? The biggest change that our audience should know is that when you are applying for your study permit, one of the things that you need to prove is your proof of finances, right? That you have to submit. You have to pay your first year tuition if you are going through the student direct stream, which we can talk about later in more detail, or at least the first semester upfront if you're going through the non-student direct stream. But beyond that, you would have to show that you could support yourself in Canada or your dependents for up to 1 year. The minimum for that used to be $10,000. They have raised that now to $21,000.
Oh, that's almost double, yeah.
So if you're applying as a solo person, you have to either present in your bank accounts in Pakistan or UAE or Vietnam, like wherever you're applying from. You have to show that you have that money. It used to be that 10 was the minimum, although we always encouraged our clients to show more. But now 20 is the minimum, right? So that is challenging. And if you want to go through the student direct stream, it wasn't just about presenting the money in your bank accounts back home. You actually have to deposit them into a Canadian bank account, which then kind of disperses that money to you over on a monthly basis until it runs out after a year. So that's number one. Number two is, that they're actually putting a cap on undergraduate students, right?